As you can all see, it's the height of the political season, election time, coming up on November 6th. Your television set and radio is bombarded with ads from all the candidates. And as you can see, I don't believe it's just myself. There's no answers out there. There's not one candidate at any level that can give you a solution to any of the problems we're dealing with, such as student loan, the mortgage crisis, poverty that nobody wants to talk about, health care, Medicare, Social Security, jobs, infrastructure. There's no answer. Why is there no answer? Heck, our country hasn't had a budget in 3 years. How can you run a corporation without a budget? When that happens, it should tell you something very, very wrong is happening, that is going on. What's wrong? There is no money in our system. Our country hasn't paid its debt since September 11, 2001. Neither has the rest of the world. Now, coming back to our solution here, the politicians spend all their time, billions of dollars, your money that you voluntarily give up to these two parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Not one of them has come up with a solution for your family or your future. Actually, you don't have a future. Here's the fact. The future trades that you see on TV, those traders have traded 17 generations of our income and our energy into the future. So what you see, the $17 trillion debt that we're in, it's way beyond that. No one is telling you the truth. The numbers they spew on TV is all lies and all false. Not from the unemployment to any numbers they give you on TV. It is all a scam on all of us. Okay? We're not going to be able to get anywhere unless we solve our mortgage crisis. Pretending these people are moving onto the streets as being homeless and being abused in every way possible is not going to help our country. Or let me put it this way. Are the political party, the Democrats and Republican Party, are they there to resolve the problem and make our lives better by doing what they're being hired to do? Or are they deliberately destroying our country? That is something you have to ask yourself, because nothing positive has happened to our country in many years. Clinton, going back to his administration, why he left this a surplus was because he was using Mr. Adnan Sakli Fed ID 8217. His funds is what saved the Clinton administration. His tax returns, corporate tax returns, saved the United States of America. Mr. Clinton worked with Mr. Sakli to save the administration. George Bush got greedy. He wanted it all. So we lost it all. Wars. We go to war because it's a way to make money. Why do you go to war? You got to scare people into having them give up their freedom, the Patriot Act. Okay, we got scared into that. Your Congress approved that in 15 minutes with a voice vote. Never once read the 315 pages with volumes and volumes of reference pages. Only 2 senators read that. And it wasn't in that 15 minutes. It was later on, but neither one of them agreed to it. One is dead now, one is still alive. But not one person in the House of Representatives read it. They stripped you of everything you have, all your wealth, all your future income, your education, your home, everything they've stripped you of. And you don't even know it because no one have read the Patriot Act and no one asked any questions about the Patriot Act. Why is that? The word patriot makes you think that it's a good thing. Well, that's the idea, is for them to scam you into thinking it was a good thing for you, the American people. Well, they've taken everything from you. If you have a safety deposit box, they have a right to go in there and strip every dime you have in there or whatever you have in it and not give you an answer for it. That's part of the Patriot Act. If you go to the restaurant, that's considered finance. Hotel finance. Everything you do has to do with Financial Freedom Act. You have no freedom. There is no privacy. It gives them the right to do whatever they want to do. Eminent domain is coming for your house now. They're not even bothering with the foreclosure at this point. They're going to start with eminent domain after the election. Meaning that whether you're making the mortgage payment when your house is underwater, they're still going to take it over under eminent domain. You're going to become a tenant. They can sell it out from under you while they're using you to maintain the property. While you think you're a tenant, you have a chance to buy the property back in 3 years. How are you going to buy it back without a job? You can't qualify because they have no funding, and the qualification is made difficult because they don't have the money to lend you to buy their homes. These are all things that are happening out there, and no one's paying attention. All we're paying attention is to, are we Republican? Are we Democrat? Are we right? Are we left? Are we liberal? Are we conservative? We're none of those things. We're human beings. We need to get back to our humanity. We're supposed to be an image of God. People that are in the image of God does not pay taxes, does not let your government rule you and subject you to ridiculous things like standing in line for health care. Health care is not a luxury. It's a necessity. We all need good health care. The funds are there to pay for it without taxes. Your education is there to pay for without taxes. All the student loan debt is there to be forgiven. Our mortgages can be refinanced and made at affordable payment than what we can afford until we get jobs. Jobs can be created by infrastructure, cleaning up the rivers and oceans throughout the world. Do you think there would be a lot of jobs, company, banks, people back to work throughout the globe with just the idea of cleaning up the rivers and oceans? As polluted it is everywhere, there wouldn't be a situation for a job not having a job. And it would create all levels of jobs by just putting the funding into the cleaning the rivers and the ocean. It's an environmental issue. We have destroyed this planet. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be taken care of. We all talk about our future generation. There is no future generation. How can there be future generation when everything we're handling right now in our world is destruction? Speaking of destruction, overseas foreign affairs. Again, a couple of weeks ago, they blamed what was going on in the Middle East and Europe, different countries burning right now, blame it on some ridiculous film that was actually released in July, the trailer, and they were blaming it on hate crimes. Well, every time you go to war, you kill each other, it is a hate crime. There's no reason for this. People die, people riot, people create problems like you're seeing right now. It has nothing to do with a film. It has to do with the fact that they have no electricity, no water, no food, no health care, no jobs, no future, living on the streets, being treated like dogs by their own government. And yes, all the countries, except for a handful, there's no reason why every country on this planet cannot live like the people in Qatar. It's a small little country between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Those people know how to live. They're living. They're not dying. They're not killing each other like we are over here and all over the world. The funding is there to resolve the problems. It's just a matter of you, the American people, wake up, start asking some questions as to why are you being taxed to death. You're being taxed to death because your government, your Congress, your Republican Congress and Democratic Congress and senators and your president is spending money like there's no tomorrow. The reason why the taxes keep going up is to cover the cost what government spend. Government doesn't have a problem. They give themselves their own raise, healthcare, everything, and you're the one paying for it. And to repeat, the money that's coming out of your paycheck every week for income tax, Medicare and Social Security, and that supposedly go to pay for welfare, all of that is 100% a lie. That money does not stay here or pay for any of those items. Those money goes to private accounts in the British Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico. It's Mr. Adnan Sakli humanitarian bond that is sitting in Chase that pays for all this. Think about this. That's going to expire around 2017. Then what do you do?